back to my channel. Now before we get into today's video, I must apologise for my lack of videos the last few weeks. I've been a bit quiet on my other socials as well. I've just been taking a little bit of me time, step back from things, just to focus on my mental, physical health and just have a bit of a break really. So apologies for the lack of anything, but we all need a little bit of time for ourselves every now and then, and I just got to the stage where I needed some time for me. So I've been working hard behind the scenes because I can never stop doing nail things. So I've just been reorganising some of my nail art supplies and swatching lots of goodies, but just things off camera and off socials, and just things that I can do to relax and unwind. And I really needed it, and I'm really glad I did it, but now I'm back and ready to get back into my routine of a couple of videos a week and things. I was probably ready at the beginning of the week, but I've had to put on my cricket club secretary hat this week and sort out protocols, guidance and all of that jazz for return to cricket and training and nets. So that has kept me quite busy. It's kept me with a thumping headache as well. But now that is pretty much up and running, I can get back to doing the things I love. Not that I don't love the cricket club, but it's a little bit harder with all these COVID protocols and everything. But now that that's in place, it'll be much easier for me to run and get back into doing nails. So today's video is a very special one for me, and I decided to do it because of these beautiful glitters that Gemma sent me from the nail team, which I will show you in a moment, but also because today is World Autism Awareness Day. In fact, April, the whole month, is Autism Awareness Month, but today particularly, so Friday the 2nd of April, is World Autism Awareness Day. And this is something that is very special to me, very important to me and very close to my heart. And the reason for that is, some of you may know this, some of you may not, so apologies if you've heard the story before, but before I became a nail tech and started Cinderhelly Nails and everything that followed, for 10 years I was a teaching assistant in a local primary school. So I mainly worked in Key Stage 1, bit of early years work as well, but I specialised, should I say, in working one-to-one with autistic children, and you know, working with them in a mainstream school setting, and that's what I mainly did for 10 years, and I was sort of the school specialist autism teaching assistant. I'm not sure that's the right wording, but went on courses and meetings and all those things. That's not important, but working with autistic children and working with them one-to-one for the best part of 10 years, it is something that has stayed with me even after leaving the school and changing careers. So before I got that job and was working there, I didn't really have a huge knowledge on the autistic spectrum and what exactly autism was and how it affects different people. And so it was definitely an eye-opening experience for me. It was challenging, but I loved every moment of it, and I learnt so much about me and what I was capable of and able to manage and do. And so I look back on my time with those children with a lot of love, really. The children that I worked with for the longest, very, very special to me. I still keep in contact with their parents and what they're doing, and you know, in those years, for everything I taught those children, they taught me so much more, and I feel blessed to have been able to do that job. So when I think about Autism Awareness Month and Autism Awareness Day, it stayed with me. It's still something very important to me, and it reminds me of those incredibly challenging but incredibly rewarding and special years I worked with these amazing children. So, gushing a bit now. Might even cry. I did actually cry when one of them moved to a special needs school. I'd worked with him for nearly 3 years. I was very, very sad when he left, especially as it was all last minute. End of term, he hadn't got a place. We were putting in things for the following school year for him to come back to us, and on the second to last day we got told he got a place and he was leaving, and it was amazing because it's what he needed, but I didn't really have much time to get used to it. I've completely gone off on one here, but long story short, at the end of the day, him and his mum and I sat together for a little while, and when they left, I looked out the classroom door and there was the two teachers I worked with, the school head and the deputy head, all holding boxes of tissues because they knew I was going to need them. So that is how special those years of my career in school were, and why Autism Awareness Month still means so much to me. So, getting on to today's video. Gemma very kindly sent me these 6 Jigsaw Glitters from the nail team a couple of weeks ago now. I have swatched them and the pictures are on my Facebook and Instagram. The links for those are in the description box, so if you don't follow me there, check them out and you get a close look at these glitters. But these 6 glitters, we've got this beautiful blue jigsaw glitter, so it's just little jigsaw pieces. We've got the green, we've got the red, we've got gold, turquoise, I love this one, and then we have the neon mix, which I love this one. So today's video I'm going to do an autism awareness design using these 5 glitters. Now all throughout this month I'm going to be doing designs with these glitters for autism awareness, and I will be sharing them on my socials. I might do 1 or 2 short videos, I might not, I haven't decided yet. So another reason to go and follow me there. And I am going to do another video with these next week after, when I manage it. So we're not going to be using those today, but they are beautiful, love them. So we're going to be focusing on these 5. So I have already tipped a load out onto my tray of all the colours. There are some red there, but they're well hidden. Just to make it easier, because I want the rainbow of colours, and I actually put together just a little pot, so tipped out a few of each into a little pot, so then I can keep this when I want to mix it up. I find I can be more random if I've got the mix like this than if I take from each pot waffling. So I'm going to be using those, and then I've also got these autism awareness decals from the Queen of Decals. Now Bev, the lovely Bev of Queen of Decals, actually created these a couple of years ago now. I'm not sure if they are still on the site, but I will check, and if they are, I'll pop the link below. But she created these a couple of years ago, because I asked her if she could do some autism awareness ones. So I sent her some pictures of what would be quite nice, and these are what she came up with, and I absolutely love them. So I bought a few sheets when they first came out a couple of years ago, and so I've still got some. So I'm going to use those in this video as well, because I thought they went really nicely with the puzzle pieces anyway. So I am going to try and remember what I was doing. So we're going to prepare the decals first. So, and I'm going to do this on screen because I don't normally, I normally just go straight into the video and they're ready. So I have got another one of these beautiful coaster trays from Painted and Posted. I used them for a lot of my palettes and things. I'm just going to choose the two that I want. Now these ones needed a white base. I'm not sure if she does still have them on the website. They may be in the new Ultimate style where they don't require a white background. But as I said, these are old ones, so they certainly do. So I'm just going to cut out the ones I want. So I'm going to go with this puzzle ribbon with bits breaking off because I love that. And I'm also going to go for the hands that are next to it. So I'm just going to cut those out. Near enough the same ones I used on a set 2 years ago. I didn't actually do any last year. So just cut around those as close as possible, just using my little Starkey scissors. And then I've got cotton wool pad here, and I've got a little bottle of water. I have a little bottle of water because I used to sit down, get everything set up, and then realise I'd forgotten to soak my cotton pad for my decals. So I thought if I have a little bottle of water next to me, at least if I forget, I'm covered. So I've just soaked that pad, and then we're just going to sit the decals on there, just press them down. We can leave that to one side until we are ready to use the decals. So I'm going to get myself all set up, and I'm going to get on to the design. I'm not going to waffle on during the design. I will voice it over. So apologies, this is a little bit of a longer video, but sometimes videos are important and need to be a little bit longer. So I do hope you enjoy this design. So my lovely Lottie is all prepped, ready to go, and I have already done my thin clear base. And getting into the design, on the middle finger I am going to be doing a colour block heart in the middle of the nail, and that heart is going to be sort of jigsaw puzzles. So I'm just applying a square of those puzzle pieces just in the middle of the nail where I want the heart to be. So I'm just using a wash of clear acrylic just to act as glue. You could actually use glue, and sometimes I do use glue when I'm placing individual shapes, but I went with acrylic today. And so I'm just random colours just to the size I roughly want that heart. Then I'm just going to do one more in the middle at the bottom there, and hopefully you can sort of see where my heart shape is going to be. Then I'm going to let that acrylic dry so those are set in place before we encapsulate with clear acrylic to create that heart shape. For the nails I'm going to have decals on. I need a white base, so I'm using Lyric, and which is a Glam and Glits colour, and I'm going to be doing decals on the ring finger and the thumb. I've not done the thumb applying the white base, but I will do the decal on the thumb. So I'm just applying Lyric to the whole nail, making sure I've got full coverage all the way, no patches, keeping it nice and thin as always, because decal and then encapsulate. And while that sets, as I use clear acrylic when applying the decals, I'm going to add a little bit of colour with this beautiful blue acrylic, which I think is perfect for autism awareness. This is Jennifer, another Glam and Glitz colour. So I'm going to do a full nail of this on the pinky. I've just done a wash as a base because I felt I'll add a little bit more with some blue foil flakes over the top. Just to add a little bit more sparkle. So I just picked these up with my wet brush and I'm patting them and applying them into that wet layer of acrylic. I didn't need any more clear acrylic or anything. And with these flakes, a little goes a really long way, so you only need the smallest amount of on your brush. And again, we're going to let that set before encapsulating. Back to the middle nail, and I now need to create that heart shape with my clear acrylic. So I've picked up a nice big bead, I've drained out the excess liquid, and now I'm using my brush to create the bottom part of my heart. You want to make sure you've got a nice wall like you would with any other colour block or smile lines or anything, because this is how we are going to get that heart shape. So using my brush to get that bottom point, and then I'm going to go in with a couple of beads to create the two sort of ear top parts to the heart. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what a heart looks like. And then I'm using my brush to get down in where that V, where those two little moundy bits meet in the middle. It is really hard to file a heart shape because it's got lots of round bits and it's got that little V. So you want to get it as perfect as you can with your brush. You can file parts of it, it's just not as easy. So I'm making sure I've got that basic heart shape and as neat and as equal as I possibly can. But then I was thinking about what this whole design represents and autism awareness, and I was thinking perfectly imperfect fitted so much better. So I didn't worry if my two mounds, you know, my moundy bits at the top were not the same size or shape. You do want the height to be the same, but it didn't matter if one was slightly bigger than the other. So I'm going to let that set and we're going to move on to the index finger. Apologies, I was completely out of camera shot for the start. But I'm just doing a full nail of puzzle pieces. So a wash of clear acrylic. I've not put it on the whole nail because it will dry. So I've just done a little way down the nail to begin with. And then I'm just using a wax pickup tool to pick up the pieces and placing them, building it like a jigsaw puzzle. And I actually was using my orange stick if they needed a little bit of a push or a nudge. Right at the top around the cuticle, you just want to cut the shapes as best you can to fit, especially if you're working on a natural person. On here I could pull it out and cut them, but you can't do that on a person. But you just need to cut them to fit, and that's easy enough to do. So I'm just going to keep building this up. Don't worry if they overlap at the edges, because once the clear acrylic is fully set and those puzzle pieces are stuck in place, I will just trim the excess off before encapsulating. So I'm just going to finish building this puzzle design on this nail, and then I will again let that set in place before we encapsulate it. And when all my pieces are on the nail, I am going to move back to the white nails and we will apply the decals. So regular viewers will know how I apply my decals, but it's a little wash of clear acrylic, the smallest amount. This is glue, and then using my tweezers to pick up the decal that has been soaking on a cotton pad, slide off the backing paper, and then I'm just pressing and pushing it into place, and then leave that acrylic to set. On the thumb, exactly the same, so pick up the decal, slide off the backing and then just press it down very gently, leave it to dry before encapsulating. Off camera, I did give that little heart a file, make sure it was the same height and got it nice and neat. And now I'm just applying that Jennifer all the way around. Don't worry if you overlap the heart slightly with the colour, because we can file it away at the end, but we do need to encapsulate the colour because I'm going to add a little bit more of those blue flakes. So I'm just painting it on nice and thin. I'm using little beads so that I can get in and around everywhere without sort of flooding it. So I'm doing the top half first, and then I'm going to do exactly the same, placing down the bottom of the nail. I did sort of file off the excess jigsaw pieces where the heart wasn't going to be, just so that they weren't too on show. You couldn't see the shape of them underneath the blue acrylic. So just finish placing the acrylic all the way around. Like I said, don't worry if you do cover the heart slightly, because that will file away at the end. And then I'm just going to add some of those foily flakes at the bottom of the nail when I'm happy with this blue. It's a bit faffy, this bit, but I love a good faff, so that's not worrying me at all. Make sure I get right in that little V bit of the heart, right up to the cuticle. And then when I'm happy with the blue and the glitter is on, need to encapsulate all of these nails in clear acrylic, which I did off camera because this was a really long video already. So I'm going to encapsulate in clear acrylic, and then I'm going to file them to shape. So straighten up the side walls, the free edge, refine the surface of the nail, and then we can come back and finish off these beautiful autism awareness nails. So we're all filed and refined, and I'm already loving these nails. In fact, you could leave them as they are, but this is me and I wanted to add just a little bit more. So giving them a good clean with my sanitizer and a lint-free wipe, get rid of any dust that we don't want in the finished nail. And now I'm not using crystals in this design. I have got 4 of the puzzle pieces, and I have used some builder gel and top coat to give them a 3D look, and we're going to add them to the pinky. So I'm just going to top coat this nail now with my Perfect Nails top gel and cure for 60 seconds. And now I'm using the Perfect Nails glue gel and a micro swab, and I'm just applying a little sort of right angle shape, and I'm going to create a square jigsaw puzzle in the middle of the nail. Not quite square, it's going to be an incomplete puzzle, so I'm going to do 2 and then 1, and I'm going to flash cure those into place so they don't move, because we don't want that, that would be really irritating. And then a little bit more of that glue gel, and I'm going to have my last puzzle piece just in place, ready to be added to the puzzle. So I'm going to flash cure that again, and now we're going to top coat the rest of the nails to finish this design off. And because we will fully cure the top coat, those puzzle pieces will fully secure with that full cure. And then that is this design finished. I did think about adding some crystals to this nail as well, but actually I thought it was perfect as it was, so I didn't. So I'm just going to finish top coating these nails, and then we will cure for 60 seconds, and that is my autism awareness design complete. And here is the design fully cured and finished. And I absolutely love this set. I mean, what it represents is so special to me, but I love the design, and I hope to any of you who've watched this video who have a family member who has autism, I hope you like this set as much as I do. Don't forget, if you are working on a client, and hopefully very soon you will be able to finish off your design with cuticle oil just to rehydrate the skin around the nails. But I have really enjoyed creating this set for you. It was a great one to come back with after a few weeks off. And I know for a lot of people, individually placing glitter shapes on a nail is long and tedious, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is, but it is so worth it to create a nail like that. That is it from me today. It's been a long one, but I hope you all agree it's been worth it, and I hope I've given you a little bit of background about me and why this set was one I had to do. I will pop all the links in the description box for where you can get the products I've used. Everything but the decals is from the nail team, so that was pretty easy. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love to know what you think of it, so please leave me any comments in the description box. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and if you don't already, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. The links are also in the description box. That is it from me today. Have the most amazing Easter weekend. Hope you are doing something nice, and I will be back with another video, I promise, very, very soon. But that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Bye. Mwah.